So tinnitus is, generally speaking, damage in the ear, resulting in random and spontaneous signals being sent to the brain that processes them as sound. It can be very annoying. 1 in 8 people have tinnitus. It's more likely to happen with age. And of those people, 1 in 10 have such distress from this unwelcome noise that it's interfered significantly with the quality of their life. Currently, prognosis through the primary care pathway is actually not very good. When people approach their GP is interested in dealing with possible hearing loss, which is associated with it. They tend to go off to an audiologist, possible hearing aids, etc. But very little is done about the emotional distress behind tinnitus. So people tend to end the pathway in a dead end with no cure exists, but also, more importantly, feeling very unsupported. So what people do, especially now, especially with the post-COVID landscape, is that people tend to go online. People tend to look for help, whether it's guided or unguided self-help, which brings people through to smartphone apps. So we're using the example today, which I probably can't see very, there it is, there he is, there's Tinnibot there on the phone. And one example of literally hundreds of applications out there to support the tinnitus patient. However, while talking with the outgoing CEO of the British Tinnitus Association, it's quite clear that it's like the Wild West out there. There are so many apps that are lacking a useful evidence base. So by working with, my colleague Fabrice to do with Hearing Power, the creator of Tinnibot, then we got a $50,000 Australian dollar grant from the Australian Academy of Technology and Engineering, where one company in Australia and one university not in Australia would work together in order to put their product to the test. So if you have an app for tinnitus, there is that sense of certain things need to go in, but is there an evidence base behind them, or are they there because your competitors got one and you want to shove something in as well? So university can be valuable in terms of the content provided. We also did a series of qualitative interviews of a number of apps to find out how people engage with these things. So there's a difference between having an app that works and having an app that people use. And we found that one of the advantages of the USP of Tinnibot is that it has a chatbot function. People are more likely to talk with a chatbot than they are with a therapist. But when you compare that with other chatbots on the market, you see, unless you get the phrasing or the format of the conversation just right, it can turn some people off, particularly an older age group who see the whole thing as being a little bit more than a toy rather than something valuable for health and well-being. Also, if you actually have researchers working on something, particularly postgraduate researchers as well, PhD students and the like, it can be a very cost-effective approach for all concerned. However, by doing the research together with Hearing Power, I'm confident in that the app is able to provide a clinically significant improvement in people's tinnitus distress for a third of users within 8 weeks. I know that I can do that and in a way that academically publishable in peer-reviewed research. That would be of benefit to Hearing Power to know that their product and to tell others that their product holds firm. And currently at Leeds Trinity, I'm engaged in a lot of knowledge exchange with workshops for audiologists, GPs, etc., to show the value of a number of tinnitus interventions out there which are beneficial for people to pass on to their patients, and Tinnibot is one of those.